And hello, everyone. It's time for a little Weather University. I'm Stormtracker 8 Meteorologist Matt DiNardo. Great to be with you today. We're going to do a couple of things today. We're going to talk about Hurricane Ernesto and what's going on with that. And then we're going to talk about the severe storms from yesterday, specifically the hail in portions of northern Chesterfield County and the West End. And we'll talk about how hail forms. And I've actually opened up a screen to my left here where if you're on Facebook, you can ask some questions like, hello, Janet, thanks for joining us, and I'll try to answer your questions live as time permits. So just a little bit more interactivity this morning than we usually have, and I'm glad to be with you. We look forward to having a great conversation today. So let's start off, as I mentioned, with Ernesto. Yesterday morning, Ernesto dropped down to a tropical storm, and then yesterday afternoon and evening, it ramped back up, and currently it has winds of 85 miles per hour. This is as of the 5 a.m. advisory. The next advisory will be at 11 o'clock. So within the next 15 to 20 minutes, usually come in about 15 minutes before the hour. But the main threat of this storm now is for shipping lanes out in the North Atlantic. And there's quite a few cargo ships that do take that route. For us, though, because we still have that long fetch sliding down the East Coast, you might see, you know what, I could grab my pen tool here. I got another little product I can use. Let's grab this here. So grab my pen tool. So the long fetch down along the coast is going to give us the risk of rip currents for the next couple of days, today and tomorrow. But notice by the time we get to Tuesday night and Wednesday, look where this is, right? So that long fetch is going to come to an end. So things will progressively get better as Ernesto continues to move away. And I think by Wednesday, we're looking at some great beach weather. But of course, today began the day where kids are back at school. So we're really not talking about a whole lot of beach for many of us until the weekends. However, areas north of the Mason-Dixon line, they don't start school till after Labor Day. And so therefore, they may be visiting our beaches. So if they're watching us, that's something to keep in mind. So again, Ernesto, still a hurricane, powerful surf, rip currents through at least Tuesday morning, maybe Tuesday afternoon, before that really begins to subside. All right, yesterday we had some severe weather in central Virginia, and boy, did it mean business. In fact, we had numerous reports of hail, just under an inch there. This one is in particular, though, public reporting in Henrico near Tuckahoe, 2-inch size hail, and I did see some pretty large hail sent to me through pictures through Facebook, and I do appreciate all of that. So thanks for sending those pictures. We had dime-size hail also in Tuckahoe. We had some very heavy winds that came through, thunderstorm wind damage. Tree fell onto an SUV on Parham Road near Aldie. No injuries reported there. We did have another area, trees down across DeSoto Drive, multiple trees down, significant tree damage in that area. And then, of course, there was the fatality, which is very sad. Tree fell on a car, killed the man inside. This was confirmed yesterday to us immediately by Henrico Police and Fire right before the top of our 6 o'clock news. But you can really see, again, things much better in terms of our weather for today, as we are seeing some quiet weather now, but we do have the risk of some showers and storms between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. However, I don't think that they will be severe in nature. I don't think we're looking for hail, and we're not going to be looking for tremendous winds. But because we're still rather humid out there, they could have some real heavy downpours. So how does hail form? This is a question that I often get when I go to schools. And the simple answer is we have strong thunderstorms like yesterday. And in all thunderstorms, we have winds that blow upwards inside the clouds and winds that blow downward from the cloud to the ground. We call them updrafts and downdrafts. And as we know, in many thunderstorm clouds, we have raindrops. Well, what happens is those updrafts or those upwinds take those raindrops and slide them vertically into the higher parts of the sky, higher parts of the clouds, where it's below freezing. So now our raindrops begin to freeze, and we get very, very small hailstones. And then they'll begin to fall downward, but collect more raindrops on them, and so they'll go up and down as the strength of those updrafts pushes them up. And as those hailstones grow, they will continue to get bigger and bigger. But at one point, what will happen is the hailstones will begin to drop their way southward or down from the cloud into the ground because the updrafts cannot support them anymore. And so that's basically what hailstones are. So keep that in mind. That's something that we are we watch for. We watch how these hailstones grow. And radar can help us determine the size of those hailstones up in the clouds. And sometimes they'll fall apart a bit as they come down and they melt a bit. Now, as far as the size of hailstones, well, we have different levels. We have non-severe. That's pea size, that's dime size, or penny, or nickel size. Pretty much anything under an inch is what we call non-severe. Once we hit that inch criteria and we go bigger than that, we call it severe hail. So when we have a severe thunderstorm, there are two things that can happen. Rainfall in a thunderstorm is not considered severe in nature. It can cause problems. It can really slow you down when you're driving. It can cause ponding of water on area roadways, and that triggers flash flooding, but that doesn't make the thunderstorm severe. The two main criteria for severe thunderstorms are we either have hail at 1 inch in diameter, or we have winds 58 miles per hour or stronger. Those are the two criteria for it to happen. Or a tornado, but then we issue the tornado warning, right? We have the winds and the shear. So those are a couple of things there. And you see we have quarter-size hail, ping-pong-size hail, golf ball-size hail. So when we showed you that one report of 2-inch hail in Tuckahoe out near Short Pump yesterday, that started to push it toward golf ball-size hail. Tennis ball-size hail, baseball-size hail, softball-size hail, these are things you typically see in the Midwest in areas like Tornado Alley during their severe season. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, have we seen golf ball size hail here? Yes. And again, yesterday, 2-inch hail. So we have had it. And we've seen it a couple of times. It's pretty rare. Usually in central Virginia, we don't get that cold air high up in the sky to create that large hail. So typically, we're quarter-size hail, maybe a smidge bigger, but that's pretty much about it. So, yeah, it was pretty wild yesterday. So I mentioned that we have the risk of seeing some storms today. And right now, we're seeing some nice sunshine out there. It is warm. It is humid. And again, there's the chance of thunderstorms from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And some of those storms will contain some locally heavy downpours. Good morning, Tamia. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us on Weather University. If you have a question, if anybody has a question, don't forget we are on the Facebook page right now. You can ask a question. I'll try to answer it live for you. Those storms today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., will produce some locally heavy downpours in a short period of time. But I'm not looking for hail, as we just discussed, in terms of severe hail. Could we see maybe pea or nickel-size hail? Absolutely. But I'm not looking for quarter size or bigger. I also don't think that we're going to see many storms that will have strong damaging winds. Now, 1 or 2 possible, maybe certainly some gusty winds, but not truly damaging winds as we saw in some of those storms yesterday. Ross, good morning to you. Janet said the hail looked like it was coming, bouncing down the road. It was a good hailstorm. It really was. And for some, it covered the deck or the lawns a little bit because it did come down. That storm was extremely strong out in Henrico County. So, again, to me, the storms this afternoon, maybe the main real issue is going to be some quick, heavy downpours because we are so humid. I don't really expect them to be big-time hailers, and I don't expect that we're going to be looking at strong, damaging winds. So just keep that in mind. I mean, 1 or 2 storms could have some gusty winds, but I don't think we're going to be looking at 60, 70 mile per hour windstorms, so keep that in mind. Now, big changes come in after those storms roll through tonight. We're going to start to notice the humidity begin to break after midnight, but tomorrow morning when you wake up and you kind of get your day going, that humidity is going to be way down and continuing to fall throughout the day. We'll only hit a high tomorrow of 80, and then we might only see a high on Wednesday of 79. But look at your overnight lows here. mid-50s. So you can finally open the windows up, allow that fresh air in all day long and all night long, and enjoy it that way. Shut the AC down for just a bit. We'll stay with temperatures near 80 for Thursday, Friday 83, humidity still low. Saturday, Sunday, the humidity will creep up just a bit, but it's not going to be anything too crazy, so we're looking for middle to upper 80s. And by next Monday, we could be looking at a high near 90. Again, still not crazy humidity. So, yeah, 79 on Wednesday, Tamia says, is going to feel really nice, and it is going to feel that nice. So we want y'all to get out there and enjoy it. Once again, we are talking about some pretty quiet weather today. Ernesto continues to pull away, and again, just watch rip currents for the next day and a half out of Virginia Beach and the Outer Banks. We're going to end it there. I appreciate y'all joining us for this Weather University, and enjoy the nice, what I call nature's air conditioning coming at us in about 24 hours. I promise you'll all be happy. Hope you all have a great day.